as one cost only. So this given to you is F, all right? So you need to determine the value of A. So I can put here as A1 where your F is given. So for A is unknown and F is known. So which pair of formula do you need to use? Is it pair number 1, pair number 2, pair number 3, 4 or 5?
Mana yang dibincang ni bang tak tahu, Mat.
Pair number 3, Doktor.
Is it A or B?
Kan tak fokus, Mat. Satu kelas tak faham.
B, Doktor.
Kau tu senang tak? Kau tu senang. Aku ni
So you need to use 3B. Alright.
Aku.
Okay, so for this one, I equals to 10 and N equals to 10 as well. Alright? You
Aku nak jadi macam kau.
so sorry.
Aku ingin menjadi
Silap.
sesuatu.
Cancel semua
Cancel
Silap.
semua pula. Kau tengok.
Saya dah penat sebenarnya. Ada kelas baru je habis kelas 2 jam tadi.
Dia penat. Aku tak boleh.
So nak restart another 2 hours. A little bit exhausted. Alright, so for this one, okay, I'm very sorry. I did make some mistake. Alright. So for this one, actually, you need to determine the P total. Alright. So for the P total, alright, this one is actually P naught. Alright. This actually P naught and your P total actually
Aku tak tahu.
alright. Your P total actually equals to P naught, alright, plus, can I say P1 plus P2. Then what you should do, right, this P total, you need to convert into this one. Alright, so this is your P naught and you need to determine this P. P, can I put that as P1? Alright, so for P1 is unknown and this is considered as your
Prinsipal kan? Prinsipal apa? Prinsipal apa? Wah, dengan kau tak fokus. Wah. Embat pula.
Ya Allah.
Wah, dia mengeluh kan ajar kita orang. Dia mengeluh ajar kita orang. Tak, dia mengeluh.
Sekejap
Kunci kau.
Salah lagi.
Aku ingin menjadi sesuatu
Salah lagi
yang bisa kau rindu.
Ya Allah, kesian ya Allah.
Nyanyi ni nanti masuk tu lah video ni.
Ya
Assalamualaikum doktor.
Salam.
Doktor okey tak?
Saya penat. Bila penat
Apa doktor? Doktor kalau penat, doktor rehat je dulu.
dia orang tua, kalau dia penat dia macam gini lah. Dia istilah dia menyanya. Orang cakap dia menyanya.
Tak apa doktor, rehat je. Saya bangun.
Okey. Boleh pelan Okey, kita patah balik Okey. Tu rewind Okey, kita rewind. Alright. So, well, actually, what we need to calculate is actually we need to calculate A. Alright. So this is what we're supposed to calculate, the A, from year 1 up to year infinity. All right, what given to you is P at n equals to 0, which is 6 million. And the recurring cost for every 10 years, all right, so this recurring cost is actually operational cost. Every 10 years, okay, the company has to pay 700,000. So for this one, you need to convert to A. So can I put this as A2? Oh, A1 lah, sebab sini dah P note kan. So this P note, we need to determine the A note. Alright, boleh ikut? Alright, so we need to determine the A. Given here is the value of F. If we look at 0, so this value is actually considered as F. So for A is unknown and F is known, so what formula to use? Is it pair number 1, pair number 2, pair number 3, 4 or 5?
Soal lepak tu aku tak faham pun.
Pair number 3.
Pair number 3. So this is 3,
Lepak je lah.
3B kan? Okay. So you just substitute the value. Alright, for capitalized project A, for recurring situation, okay, what you need to do, you just consider only one cycle. So for this one, okay, your I is 10%. Your N is 10. Okay. And your A2. This, your A2 is actually 50 lah. Okay. So this one, you don't have to convert to anything because it requires you to determine the A. Alright, so for A note, okay, if you want to determine the A, given to you is P and your I is 10, so you just substitute A equals to 6 million multiplied to 0.1%. Okay. So can you determine this A1? Boleh cari A1? Alright, can you determine the value of A1?
Weh, dah lah apa? Retribution ke inspire ke execute? Execute. Ke execute? Apa salah? Aku tanya je.
Okay. So what is A1 for F equals to 700,000?
49,177.
Yes, that's correct. So your total A equals to A naught plus A1 plus A2. Okay, yeah. So this is actually your answer. So A1 equals to, or A note, A note equals to 600,000. Your A for F equals to 700,000 equals to 43,880, 43,890, and for 50,000 you just add up. So the total for A equals to 963,890. So that will be the annual income the company should obtain. All right. So next question. Okay, I would like you to refer to the question that I've shared in the WhatsApp this morning. Right? The question for capitalized project. Another example for capitalized project. All right, so can I stop this one? All right. Okay, please answer question B. A wealthy businesswoman wants to start a permanent fund for supporting research in UTM directed towards sustainability. The donor plans to give equal amounts of money for each of the next 5 years plus 1 year now, which is total of 6 donations. So that 100,000 per year can be withdrawn each year forever. When the question states that the word forever, it means your end equals to infinity. So this is a capitalized project. All right, so this 100 year, okay, can be withdrawn beginning year 6 towards n equals to infinity. If the fund earns interest at rate of, okay, your I equals to 10%, so how much money must be donated each year starting year 0 up to year 5? All right, so this question only 4 marks. So for marks question, all right, if the marks is 4, all right, the time taken to complete this question is 4 times, so is less than 10 minutes, under 10 minutes. You must complete this question under 10 minutes, all right? So first thing first, can I see your cash flow diagram? Boleh? Can I see your cash flow diagram? Ada siapa-siapa nak share? Anybody would like to share your cash flow diagram?
Kalau dah baik. Dia kelas. Orang penuh. Bayar ke main dulu, aku lupa dah nak main orang juga.
Malam Can I see your cash flow diagram? Boleh buat tak? Anyone having a problem to how to draw the cash flow diagram? Hello? Wujud lagi tak ni?
Doktor, sorry doktor. Tak faham.
What do you mean tak faham?
For the first 5 years, maksudnya dia donate dan on the 5th year dia keluarkan donation tu ya doktor?
On the not the 5th year.
Oh,
On the 6th year, okay, from the year 6 up to infinity, okay, she will be able to receive the annual income for about 100,000 per year. All right, so from year 0 up to year 5, how much does she needs to invest?
Okay doktor, saya try
Every
doktor.
year. Okay, cuba Orang lain macam mana?
Apa tak okey saku-saku je babi. Mana tak?
Orang lain macam mana? Ada ke tak ada ni? Wujud ke tak wujud orangnya ni?
Apa gigihnya? Hebatnya tak.
Boleh tak? Can I see your cash flow diagram? Alright, somebody is sharing. Okay. Dia bukan tak betul, dia bukan salah tapi macam tak berapa tepat cara awak cara awak lukis cash flow diagram tu dia bukan salah tapi tak berapa tepat. Sekejap Alright. Alright, so this is the cash flow diagram for that question. Okay, boleh nampak Alright. So what you are looking is from year 6 up to infinity. What you are obtained, okay, from year 6 up to infinity is A equals 100,000 per year. All right, so this is happen annually. All right, well actually you're supposed to you're supposed to include this one inside the box, okay? And this one is inside the box. And what you are required to determine is A, how much A? Okay, so A, it means annual event, all right? So how much A from year 0 to year 5, all right? So this is what you have been given. So since this is the situation happening infinitely, so you need to determine the P. So P equals, so what is the formula for P? Equals to AI, right? Am I correct? Betul?
Betul.
Yes, Doktor.
Betul eh? Alright, so what is your P? In this case is P1. P1 equals to AI. So your I is 10%. So what is your P? Salah lah awak formula ni. What is the formula for P? Is it P equals to AI or P or A equals to PI? Which one is the correct formula for capitalized problem? Is it A equals to P I or P equals to A I? Which one is correct? 1 or 2? Can you refer to the formula? What is the formula given to you in your notes for capitalized project? Is it A equals to PI or P equals to AI? Mana tu?
Nombor 1.
Kejap saya buka chatting. Okey, nombor 1. Siapa yang jawab nombor 1 ni? Suhaimi. Alright. Yang betul adalah nombor 1. So you need to determine P. So your P is P1 here. Okay, P1 equals to A over I. So what is the value for P1?
10,000.
Hmm?
10,000.
100,000 divided by 0.1.
1 juta, Doktor.
Macam mana lah awak ni, oi, nak jadi engineer, oi. Saya ni dah lah. Badan dengan otak dah tak synchronize ni. Alright. Alright, so you are required or you are supposed to determine this A, alright? If you want to determine this A, alright, so A is unknown, alright? And this P, alright, this P value, if you look, okay, this A actually happened at time 0 up to 5. So your N in this case is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And where is your calculation takes place? You are calculating at N equals to -1. So this P, okay, this P value, if you look at N equals to -1, you are actually looking at F. So for A is unknown and F is known, okay, what formula to use? Pen number 1, pen number 2, pen number 3, 4 or 5? Mana tu?
Ada formula Pepe. Pepe 1.2 4.5 kan?
Tak ada formula ke kat depan tu?
Banyak ke formula?
3B.
3B. Okay. Letaklah formula kat depan. Pen number 1, pen number 2, pen number 3, pen number 4, pen number 5. Tulis siap-siap Alright. So what is your A? So your F equals to 1 million. Boleh? Inilah yang awak nak cari. Berapa nilai dia? Okay? Boleh?
Harvard.
Berapa?
Maksudnya jenis faham ke mat?
One two nine 607. Ya, betul. That is very correct, Daniel. Daniel ke tu? Yes, Daniel Haikal. That is very correct. Alright. Lebih kurang lah. Alright. Alright, so can we consider that we have covered the capitalized project and we are ready to move on to next chapter, which is on the I nominal and I interest. Or do you have any question or queries related to your homework? Ada soalan tak? Semua dah siap homework awak?
Mengantar siap. Awak ni saya tanya senyap je.
Have you completed your homework and ready to submit by tomorrow? Or do you want to double cross the answer?
Ha?
Macam mana?
Saya tak faham tu. Belum mat. Aku pun nak study balik. Agent jangan guna mini loss tu. Esok naknya, kotelnya dah rasa.
Okay, Aiman Hakim, your cash flow diagram for the question that we have discussed just now is wrong. Christopher also wrong. Arif also wrong. Amirul Hakim also wrong. Rushaidi also wrong. You cannot get mark for it. Okay. Prem also wrong.
Prem salah.
Okay, are we ready to start new chapter, or do you have any question related to your homework number 3? Tak ada? Alright. Okay. All right, for this new chapter, I would like everybody to refer to the latest notes that I've shared this morning. All right, so for that note, actually, there are some additional topics or additional examples or additional illustration on the formula or techniques related to that chapter. Okay, so you are advisable to refer to that, to the latest notes that I've shared this morning. All right, so shall we start? Ada bangkangan untuk kita mulakan dengan new chapter. All right, so for this, all right, as you can see in your notes, there are additional questions on the exercise, okay? So for this one, you are required to determine the F value and the P value and also the A, all right? So based on this cash flow diagram, all right, you are required to determine the F value, P value and the A value. So you are advisable, you are highly encouraged to complete this exercise. And you also are given another question. So for this question, okay, you are required to determine the value at n equals to 0. Alright? Ada soalan? Any question? Alright. No question, then we shall start on the nominal and effective growth. Alright, so for this nominal and effective growth, okay, we have a little bit difference, okay. So in actual situation, alright, so this is actually the actual situation. Okay, what you have been exposed earlier on, okay, you are given interest rate about 10% per year, all right? And in actual situation, so there are another terminology that you need to get familiar with, which is compounding. Compounding means that how many times the financial institution charge you, all right? So if it is says compound annually, meaning that only once a year. Okay. So say for example, you deposited about 1,000 in a bank, and you require to determine the future value at the end of year 5. So it says that your annual interest is 10% compounded annually, meaning that every year the bank charge you. All right. All right. But in actual situation, the bank did not charge you annually. They normally will charge you more than once a year. All right. Okay, yang ini macam all right. So this is the actual scenario that is actually happened to the financial institution, right? So you invest 1,000 now, and the interest rate is 12% per year, compounded annually. Compounded annually means that the bank charge you interest every year. At the end of 1 year, they charge you once, all right? If it is says compounded semi-annually, meaning that every year they charge you twice, okay, at the end of 6 months and at the end of 1 year. If it is says compounded quarterly, quarterly meaning that every year 4 times. 1 time here, second time here, third time here. So what is, how long for this gap? Berapa lama? Berapa lama ni?
Quarterly.
Yelah, quarterly tu berapa bulan sekali?
3 bulan.
Ya, 3 bulan. Maksudnya bank tu akan charge awak setiap 3 bulan. Okay. Jadi 12% ni is no longer 12%. Okay, remember the simple compound and remember the notes related to simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so the principal, okay, if the bank charge you 4 times per year, so this is at 0 year, okay, towards the end of the 3rd month, okay, the principals, okay, the principal is 1,000. But if the bank wants to calculate the interest at the end of 6 months here, the principal here is no longer 1,000. It is 1,120. Iya ke? Bukan. Ni dah bukan 12% lah. Okay, but it is greater than 1,000. So the principal dia keep adding. Okay, dia keep adding. Kalau dia nak kira dekat sini pula, so principal dia dah bukan sinilah. So dia akan guna yang ini, yang awak akan dapat kat sini, gunakan ini sini sebagai principal pula untuk kira at the end of 9 months kat sini. Okay, jadi kalau kita kumpulkan dia akan jadi macam ni. Okay, kamu boleh baca So, bila kita kumpulkan dia, kita akan dapat satu formula iaitu kita panggil sebagai I effective. Boleh? Faham? So, this is the example where bank charge you quarterly, meaning that every 3 months the bank charge you. So, kat sini dia charge, so I nominal considered as 3%, okay. Tapi kita nak kira I effective. So I effective adalah, okay, at the end of 3 months, I effective 3%. Kalau using I nominal at the end of 6 months, dah jadi 6%. Kat sini 9, kat sini jadi 12. Tapi I interest dia, 3 dia dah tak jadi 6, tapi dia jadi 6.09.
Why?
So towards the end, okay, kalau dikira 1 tahun, okay, your interest is no longer 12% but 12.55% because the bank charge you every 3 months. Kat sini pun dia kira. Dia bukan kira sekali dekat ujung ni. Alright, so the formula is I effective over period equals to 1 plus I nominal per period over M. So, if the bank charge you quarterly, meaning that your M equals to 4. Bila substitute, maka dapatlah I effective over the period of 1 year. Maka dapatlah 12.55%. Okay? Faham tak? Faham?
Doktor.
Okay, go ahead. Tanya. Saya memang dengar.
Saya tak faham yang interest rate yang doktor cakap. Macam mana yang effective interest rate dia berlaku?
Okay. Orang lain macam mana? Okay, sekejap ya. Sebab saya nak berehat sekejap. Orang lain macam mana? Ya. Amir Rushaidi. Macam mana?
Saya pun kurang faham doktor.
Mustahil. Apa yang awak tak faham? Amir. Awak ni nak panggil Amir ke, nak panggil Rushaidi ke, nak panggil apa
Hilang Amirnya.
Ha?
Amir Doktor.
Amir, apa yang awak tak faham? Sekejap, sekejap, Pren. Aha. Ya, kenapa? Apa yang tak faham tu I efektif? Kalau yang annually tu faham.
Ni faham Doktor.
Apa maksud annually tu? Prem, apa maksud annually tu?
Annually dia divide pada 3 Doktor. Yang tu saya faham. Lepas tu since dia ada annually 12% and dia
Kejap. Apa yang awak faham yang dia annually bahagi 3 tu?
bagi 3, dia bukan bagi 4 ke Doktor?
Tak, saya
Quarterly.
Oh sorry Doktor.
tak, saya tanya. Kalau annually tu maksud dia apa?
Setahun sekali.
Setahun sekali Doktor.
Pandai. Maknanya bank dia kira berapa banyak dia nak charge interest yang tak kira lah kalau kita saving kan. Kalau kita saving maknanya dia bagi kita dividen kan. Jadi dia kira setahun sekali. Okey. Kalau maknanya kita kalau sekarang ni kita kena bayangkan kita ada buat pinjaman lah dekat bank kan. Okey, kita buat pinjaman dekat bank. Lepas tu bank ni dia cakap kat kita, okay, your interest rate is 12% per year, but the interest is actually compound quarterly. Maksudnya bank ni dia bukan kira interest untuk kita bayar di atas jumlah pinjaman kita ni setiap hujung tahun. Bukan. Dia kira setiap hujung 3 bulan. Jadi setiap hujung 3 bulan ni dia bergantung kepada berapa banyak prinsipal yang kita pinjam tadi. Okey, dia letaklah 3% kepada yang kita pinjam tadi. Jadi itulah interest yang kita kena bayar. Lepas tu untuk tempoh bulan keempat, awal bulan keempat hingga hujung bulan 6, apa yang dikira adalah prinsipal dia bukan kepada nilai asal tadi. Dia telah bertambah dengan interest untuk the first 3 months. Kalau I nominal ni bermakna 12% tu kita bahagi sajalah dengan 4 tadi. So you will get 3% at the end of month 3 and add up another 3% from month 3 to month 6 jadi 6 macam ni. But this is not the situation that is actually happening lah in this today's situation. What you will see actually if since the bank charge you the interest every 3 months, what we need to calculate is we need to calculate how many or how much is the total of the interest, because you can't afford to determine for every 4 months. What you need to determine is at the end of every year, what is the total of the interest. That is why you need to determine the interest effective. So to determine the interest effective, over the period of 1 year, so this is the formula. M is actually the number of interest that has been charged to your calculation. In this problem, 4 times. So M equals to 4 lah. Faham? Okay, kalau tak faham kat mana?
Faham Doktor?
Faham Tak faham
So,
boleh tanya. Tak faham boleh tanya.
Doctor, so for the effective part, for example, nominally 6%. So after we calculate the effective in the period dia berapa? So kita dapat 6.09. Macam tu, Doktor? Okay. Okay, Doktor. Understood.
Okay, orang lain macam mana? Alright. Okay. So this is the situation where the number of compounding, okay, per year. So if the bank compounding only once, meaning that M equals to 1, so your I effective equivalent to I nominal, which is 0.12. If M equals to 2, so you just substitute and this divide by 2, okay. Alright, so this will be the I effective for the number of compounding equals to 2. Lagi banyak bank charge the interest, lagi banyak bank charge bilangan. Okay, how many times the bank charge the interest to you, lagi banyaklah total interest yang you need to pay to the bank. Nampak tak? So this is only once a year, 12%. If it is twice a year, 12.36%. If it is 4 times a year, the total or the I effective equals to 12.55%. Okay. Boleh?
Boleh, Doktor.
Alright. So this is how, okay, so there is a star here. So the star here is to show the number of, is to show the number that the bank charge you. If M equals to 1, meaning that for the whole 1 year, only once the bank charge interest to you. If M equals to 2, meaning that twice that year. If M equals to 4, meaning that every 3 months or 4 times a year. Okay, remember if the, okay, so if you want to know the interest here, okay, the principal is this one. And for the second here, the principal is the future value here is going to be principal value for the second charging and so on. Alright, so what is I nominal over period? Okay, so for 12% per year compounded annually, so I nominal for 1 year is 12%. So for 6 months, you need to divide by 2, which is 6%. So every 3 months, you need to divide by 4, that gives you 3%. Alright, so if 1% per month compounded monthly, so what is I nominal for a period of 1 year? So for 1 month is 1%, 12 months is 12%. Okay, so for 6 months you have to multiply by 6 and so on. Okay, boleh? Boleh? Okay, so 8% per 6 months. Okay, sekejap Okay, saya tunjuk kat sini Tak pandai pun nak buat straight line dia ni. Okay, so sini kosong Sini kosong, kat sini 1, sini 2. Okay, so sini half lah. Okay, so dia cakap kat sini 8% for every 6 months. Okay, so sini 8% for every 6 months. Kalau 12 months, so you need to multiply by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Right? So kalau for every 3 months, you divide lah by 2. So dia jadi 4%. That is I nominal. Boleh? Okay? Faham ke tak faham ni? Senyap je semua ni.
Aku takut dah. Ini semua nak senyap.
Tak faham bagi tahu
Aku tak faham pun.
Alright.
Jawab lah.
Okay, nominal and effective interest rate ni, you will see three situation. Alright. So you will have a payment period and you have the compounding period. Alright. So so payment period and compounding period Jadi kita tengok apa maksud compounding period dengan payment period. Okay. Ya. Terlupa nak padam tadi. Saya padam. Ataupun tak payah padam. Padam naik.
Aku ingin jadi batu. Apa bisnya orang bodoh kan?
Okey. Apa yang dikatakan compounding period dengan payment period ni? Senang cerita macam ni Alright. So, this one, I equals to 12% ni apa? So, this is I. This 12% is I. Betul?
Growth rate interest.
And this 12% is actually the interest per year. Okay. And the compounding period is quarterly. So for this compounded quarterly, so your compounding period ni adalah 3 bulan. Betul?
Betul.
Okay. And for this one, your M is
3.
kalau compounding period quarterly, maksudnya for a year 4 times. Okay. And we need to see the payment period. Alright, so the payment period happened at year 1, at year 2, and at year 3. So the payment period is 12 months. Okay, so for this case, the payment period is greater than compounding period. Okay. Untuk situasi ini, okay. For example, this payment for 1,000 that happened at year 1, okay, if you want to determine the future value for this 1,000 at the end of year 4, so during 1 year, it did not happen 12% per year, but okay, it happened every 3 months. Okay, meaning to say that this 12% is no longer 12% per year. So it's going to be more than 12%. So what is this I effective? So you need to use this formula. So your I effective will be 0.1255 or 12.55%. Alright, so for the payment period greater than compounding period, so how can you solve this problem to determine this F value? Alright, you will have two situations. Alright. Okay, method number 1 and method number 2. For method number 1, you can use I nominal. And for method 2, you can use I effective. Alright, I would recommend, or you are strongly encouraged to use I effective instead of I nominal, because for other situation, okay, remember, you have 3 different situations, alright? situation where payment period greater than compounding period. Okay, so this is the one that we are discussing now. You also have a situation where payment period is equal to compounding period, and you also have a situation where payment period less than compounding period. Alright, so for the payment period greater than compounding period, you can use either nominal interest or I effective, okay, but for other situation, only I effective is allowed to use. So in order not to make you confused, I would recommend you to ignore the I nominal. So just stick to I effective. Is it fair? Mana semua orang pergi? Ada tak ada ni?
Ada doktor.
Ada doktor.
Ada doktor.
Tengah fokus.
Jawab pun slow je Okay Okay, maka kita bolehlah mencari F kita ni dengan menggunakan I effective. So macam biasalah, okay. So what is future value for I for P? Yeah, for P equals to 1,000. Okay. So your I effective is 12.55%. So your N in this case, you're looking for F at N equals to 4. So ada berapa? So what is your N? 1, 2, 3. 3 lah. So for P equals to 3,000, so your I effective yang ni and your N equals to 1, 2. For P equals to 500, your F equals to, okay, ni N adalah 1. Okay, boleh? Faham? Tapi kalau nak kira guna I nominal boleh juga. Ni Ada nak cuba I nominal?
Tak nak dah.
Ada?
Sumpah aku
Pening kan?
lost as fuck. Dah tu aku nak belah tu. Boleh aku belah sekarang. Mama,
Ada soalan?
Oh dah asyik. Suami fokus ya. Tak ada sayang. Cekamlah trending tiba-tiba
Ada soalan tak?
Doktor, value N tu macam mana nak tahu
Value N yang mana satu?
untuk
N
kira I effective tu? Ada
N tu, okay, alright. Maksudnya kita tengok yang ni balik Yang ni masuk awak, ni 3, 2,
ya, okay.
okay. Sekarang ni awak nak kira, okay, sebab selalu kita kira dekat N equals to 0 kan. Kita jarang kira dekat sini kan. Boleh juga kalau awak nak cari P kat sini, boleh. Awak nak cari P kat sini?
tak.
Okay, boleh. What is P at N equals to 0 for F? Yang ni F lah kan? Betul?
F tu apa?
Siapa yang tanya tadi supaya saya boleh panggil nama? Siapa yang tanya tadi? Suhail. Okay. So P untuk 1,000 ni berapakah N? So awak guna P is unknown, F is known lah kan? Okay, formula yang mana ni? Sama jugalah kan, dia terbalik aje lah. So berapa N kat sini? 1. So for F equals to 3000, berapa N? 1, 2. Dan for F equals to 500, berapa N? 1, 2, 3. So awak dapat berapa total kat sini? Sekarang ni dia nak cari nilai F pada hujung tahun keempat ini. Jadi nilai P at N equals to 0, kamu convert lah kat sini. Jadi kat sini nak cari nilai kat sini berapa tahun? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nampak? Dia sama je, sama. Tapi kerja macam tu banyak lah. Kalau dalam periksa kita tak ada masa kan. Maka baiklah kita terus mencari nilai F. Kalau nilai F at N equals to 4, for P value at N equals to 0, berapakah nilai N dia? Kita cari kat sini kan. Maka ganjak 1. 1, 2, 3. 3 lah dapat. Ni. Kalau kat sini at N equals to 2, what is the value of F at N equals to 4? 1, 2. Begitulah seterusnya. Okay. Okay. Yang lain okay. Alright, so for the payment period equals to compounding period, okay. Okay, yang ni kita tengok contoh Okay, this case number 3, okay, seldom happen. So we just ignore this one. Alright, and there is also a special case where a situation where a series of answer is required. Example A, G or E. Okay, so this is only happen for the situation of payment period greater or equal to CP. Yang kita cari kat sini tadi adalah single payment. Alright. Okay, you want to determine the value of F. Bukan nak cari A ke, bukan nak cari E, bukan. Single payment. So, untuk series, yang ni dipanggil sebagai series. Kalau A tu adalah series. Why this a series? Because it happens annually. Alright. So, for this one, you need to use I effective. Okay. Okay, so kita tengok kat sini alignment of payment period to compounding period. Alright. So, ini maksud dia Alright, so this is a situation where, okay, ada dua situasi You need to determine F at N equals to 5 for the payment period happens every year. Okay, jadi kat sini determine F and P if the growth rate is 10%, compounded semi-annually. So, kalau dia compounded semi-annually, so kita tengok situasi satu dahulu So, compounding period dia semi-annually meaning that 6 months kan? Betul?
Betul.
Dan payment period dia adalah it happens at year 0 and at year 2. So, payment period dia adalah
Terus kat year 2 pula.
So payment period dia adalah 12 months. Okay. Jadi payment period greater than compounding period. So for payment period greater than compounding period, you can use method 1 or method 2. Where method 1, you can use the nominal interest rate to calculate the F or I effective. I would prefer to use I effective. So what you need to do, you need to calculate the I effective for M equals to 2 and I equals to 10. Dan cari F at N equals to 5. Jadi this is the solution. Okay, kita guna second method which is the cari dulu dia punya I effective. So I effective dia adalah 10.25%. Okay. So your F at N equals to 5 adalah ini So untuk yang 5,000 ni berapa N dia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Untuk P equals to 2,000, so N dia adalah 1, 2, 3. So inilah 5 dan 3. Maka dapatlah dia punya yang ini. Okey? Yang ni I nominal. Neng, awak pening ni. So tak payah buat ni. So ini je. Okey? Alright. Faham? Faham tak?
Doktor.
Ya.
Sorry doktor, boleh explain yang part F equals to 5,000 F over P tu doktor, saya kurang faham. Macam mana dia?
Yang mana yang awak tak faham?
Ni F kan tak? F equal to 5,000, F over P ni ambil dari mana doktor?
Ini bukan F over P ni, ini okay. This is how you want to show that you looking for the value of F where the P is known. So this is how we write the notation of it actually. This is to show that you look for the value of F and the P is known. That is why we put F over P. It's not F divided by P.
Okay doktor.
Okay.
So kat sini dia punya apa? Dalam pair lah doktor, kita kena ikut yang pair.
Yeah. So you use the formula. Okay. For F is unknown and P is known. So definitely is pair number 1, right?
Yes doktor.
Okay, boleh dapat. So can you get the answer for it? Boleh. Can you get the answer for it? Orang lain macam mana? Make sure awak faham Kalau awak tak faham, awak yang susah. Tak faham, tanya sekarang. Saya boleh terangkan. Make sure awak tanya saya sampai awak faham. Tak apa tanya banyak-banyak pun. Yang penting awak faham. So what is the answer for this one? Boleh? Okay, does anyone manage to get the answer for this one?
Hmm, 10824 doktor?
Saya pun tak tahu. Orang lain ada tak dapat jawapan yang sama? Ada orang dapat jawapan yang sama? Ada tak? Okay, alright. So that sama kalau dua orang dapat jawapan yang sama tu maknanya betul lah. Okay. Alright. Okay. So let's go for another one. Okay. So another one is okay. The growth rate or interest is 10% per year, but it is compounded semi-annually. So in this case, your compounding period is 6 months. Betul? Betul? Okay. All right. All right. So for this case, your compounding period is 6 months. All right. And for this 5,000 and 2,000, all right. Okay. So now let's, okay. So for this one, we are actually, this example actually wants to demonstrate where the payment period equals to compounding period. Okay, so in this case, your payment period is 6 months. Why 6 months? This 1,000, okay, is deposited 6 months after third year. So the payment period is 6 months. So for the case of payment period equals to compounding period, okay, use only case 2, which is I nominal over 6 months equals to 5%. So for this 1,000, you need to use I nominal and then you add up to whatever value that you obtain here. So that gives you the total for F at N equals to 5. Okay? Boleh?
Doktor, payment period tu 6 months tu doktor dapat daripada mana?
Ini dia cakap ni.
Oh, deposit 6 months. Oh,
Ini. Orang lain macam mana? Saya rasa macam saya dengan Prem aja kat dalam kelas ni. Lepas tu sesekali Amir nyampuk. Tu orang lain tak tahu gimana. Selalu ada Christopher Tapi hari ni Christopher diam Yeah, Christopher.
Ya, doktor.
So what happened to you today, Christopher? Not very good. Not very good. Not very good, Christopher.
I don't know. My mic always got problem.
But you understood throughout the class?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, what happened to the rest of the class? Okay, Abu Bakar, are you there? Adam Saifullah, Afiq Nazirul Naim, Afiq Nazirul Naim pakai 2 device Afiq Rohaizam, Ahmad Al-Fuzail, ini apa cerita? Faham tak faham? Awak tak nak faham sekarang, dalam test lagi susah. Tak boleh jawab lah. Itu yang saya risau. Okay, I normally get response from Stewart, but today Stewart was very quiet.
Dia tengah nak digest, doktor.
Dia tak boleh lah digest lambat-lambat sangat. Kalau rasa macam tak faham, okay, stop. Saya tak faham. Okay, then okay. Okay. Yasmin ni selalu dia menyampuk ni. Tapi mana dia ni? Okay, Alright. So for the situation where you have a combination of payment period greater than compounding period and payment period equals to compounding period, you have to mix the calculation where, okay, for the payment period greater than compounding period, you are advisable to use I effective, and if payment period equals to compounding period, you have no choice. You have to use the I nominal. Well, in actual situation, what you will always see the problem is actually a series, not only one time solution, where you will get to determine the A or the G and those kind of things. Alright? Boleh faham So this, okay. So this is actually this is the normal situation where you have, okay. Okay, sebelum kita pergi sini, okay, kamu tengok balik kamu punya nota kamu, faham tak apa yang saya dah ajar sebelum ni dan kita masuk yang ni. In the meantime, okay, give me few minutes, I need to go.
Bagi partial saya pasal apa? Selesai habis Selesai dah habis ke? Belum. Relax sikit. Dah berawal tu. Habis tes aku semua pantat, matilah kunci bodoh. Sudah, main seorang kalau kau main aku, kau ada di. Mana dia menolak? Itu sama itu lagi. Ini apa senyap ni? Senyap ni tu. Hello?